Hello, fellow Star Wars fans. My name is Starrapter, and welcome to the channel. It is a banner week for Star Wars comics. The Bounty Hunters 4-year-old 42-issue series has come to the end. We're going to talk about the finale and more comics. But before we get started, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to this YouTube channel for more on Star Wars comics. With that being said, let's jump right in. First of all, we do have Obi-Wan Kenobi issue number 4. So if you've watched that episode on Disney+, then you know exactly what happens in the issue. So getting into the next issue we have to talk about in depth here is the High Republic issue number 3. This is Children of the Storm, Chapter 3, The Taking of the Ataraxia. This is written, of course, by Cavan Scott with Jim Toe and Marika Cressa on artwork. So we pick up right where we left off. We have Lourna Dee, flying the Lourna Dee, right? She names every ship she gets after herself, and we have this big space battle. We have to get this ship recaptured because it's going to play havoc to the galaxy if they don't. That's the mission from Master Keeve Trennis. She's trying to get aboard this thing. In the meantime, the Republic makes an uneasy alliance with the Hutts, with Scrub to the Hutts. So you have vectors, you have skiffs from the Hutts trying to take out the Ataraxia. We end up starting, we actually get into the Ataraxia. Jedi Master Keeve Trennis is fighting through all these different droids and has a duel with Lourna Dee. She gets stunned, but then she's able to use the Force to grab a blaster from that droid and then basically subdue Lourna Dee. And, basically against the wishes of Commander Jehen on the Republic side, she commandeers the Ataraxia. It has Tarek and Sarek on board to go into the Occlusion Zone to go look for Skier, because the big cliffhanger on last time's issue number 2, is we find out that Skier actually might be alive, but he's in the Occlusion Zone. Remember, all this story is taking place on the outside. So the Ataraxia actually has a path engine that Lourna Dee had installed on there. So they're going to try to get through the Occlusion Zone, which is the only way you can get through is with a path engine. So I thought that was very interesting, is we have the rebel Keeve Trennis doing this. And there's also a nice flashback in the front of this issue involving Keeve Trennis as a Padawan with Skier, and Skier is going into these fires and getting these poor animals that are about to be immolated and get out of there safely. So I like seeing how we get these flashbacks that kind of build the character of Keeve Trennis and Skier even more. But yeah, this was a fun issue. A lot of action, of course, with the space combat. A lot of great double trucks of the entire sequence here happening. Just great swashbuckling action. Expect no less of this. And something that has always had swashbuckling action is Bounty Hunters. And this is the final issue number 42. And this one is written, of course, by Ethan Sachs. We have artwork by Jethro Morales, joined by Paolo Venonelli for the final issue. This is called The Secret Weapon, and this is a great finale. So we jump in, we have the character of Beilert Valance returning to Jabba the Hutt to try to do something with Han Solo and Carbonite, but he doesn't actually want Han Solo and Carbonite. He wants this secret droid, and this takes us back to the Yoda series by Mark Guggenheim, building up in the Clone Wars, the Yoda and Anakin went on a mission to get these mega droids that destroyed the Foundry, but one of them escaped, and that is this one. So Jabba has been holding this mega droid for a hostage, and he has had Han Solo and Chewbacca in their own mini-series or their maxi series that came out recently last year. Their whole job was to find this power source, if you will, which ended up being Ajax Sigma. And so we know that he's survived the Dark Droids. He has gotten away, but Jabba has found one of his underlings, right? Girti, this ship, the flying vehicle that got turned into, has the AI, has the instructions, the learning capabilities of Ajax Sigma that was implanted into this Mega Droid. And now we have Beilert Valance fighting this Mega Droid in a very cool place. He is fighting this Mega Droid in the pod racing arena we see in episode 1 of Phantom Menace there in Maz Espa. So it's this really cool, evocative scene of him actually picking up and using a Gungan shield at one point. So there's a lot of prequel callbacks. And just as Beilert Valance is almost down for the count, that is when he's rescued by Lasha, Tonga, Zuckus, Forel, them all on speeder bikes. And it is this great climactic battle where through friendship, through trust, through camaraderie, they're able to vanquish this enemy. And that is when we have Beilert Valance contacting Luke, Leia, Chewbacca aboard the Millennium Falcon and say, okay, they've taken out this droid. It'll be much easier for you guys to rescue Han Solo. And remember, Beilert Valance and Han Solo go way back all the way to the Imperial Cadet miniseries when he helped Han Solo out in his younger piloting days. So he has a bit of a bond with Han. He feels like he owes him something, so that's why he did this for Han Solo. And then we get this great coda, right? Everybody goes their separate ways, and we get this great coda of Lasha, of Tonga, trying to start something new. They want to start up a new bounty guild. They'd mentioned Navarro at one point, and then they're bankrolling this whole thing, coming around full circle with the character of Cordelia, who was the person that was going to bring up the Mortar's Whale and the Unbroken Clan on Corellia, right? She was the heir to these criminal empires, and that was the big target of Kira, how she was getting groomed to be a leader of the Crimson Dawn, all this crazy stuff. So she is now funding this bounty hunter guild. But this coda is being narrated by Tonga, and we're seeing all this great stuff happening, all these characters, these callbacks, characters from Tassilish to IG-88 to Dengar to Dirge, to Bosk, to Deathsticks, to Vakora, to Yora, the prior love of Valance. It's just, there's such great finality to this issue that really grabs the threads, going all the way back to Nakano Lash in the first, the Nautilin in the first arc. This is how you do a conclusion, everybody. And you build this up, and then we even have Beilert Valance at the end. He gets away, he's alive, Valance lives, he finds Giala, who had given back his memories, and now they're going to go their own separate way, and the story continues for now. So I like how Ethan Sachs really closed this up really nicely. This is how you end a series that has been going on for 4 years. This is not just a miniseries, not a maxi series. This is a flagship Star Wars series set in between Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, dealing with bounty hunters. My favorite thing in Star Wars is the underworld, next to the Jedi, next to the ships. I love that kind of stuff. So we're getting that here, and we got such great story. The action has been incredible. The best action in Star Wars comics. Paolo Villanelli and the other artists involved with this comic series have just brought up this medium with Star Wars, right? Just incredible stuff. And Ethan Sachs has time and time again pulled at the heartstrings with characters that we don't even know, we don't even see on screen. I think that's the benefit of the Bounty Hunter series, is having these characters that have so much risk involved, because we don't know what their fate is. It's not like we're dealing with Han Solo and Luke that have to be somewhere. Okay, Boba Fett, yeah, he can't die in this, but other than that, we don't know where any of these characters are going to end up. And he writes these characters that have such emotional arcs, to have such great cliffhangers, to have such moments that every issue felt and did matter, right? It did matter in the end. There was not any kind of things that lag this behind. So overall, I'm happy to see this, and I'm sad to see it go, but I hope that these characters are revealed in the future. I mean, Beilert Valance, he's going to live into the Return of the Jedi era. Let's say we don't see somebody reprising this role in live action in one of these Mandoverse shows. Would love to see it. I think he deserves to be on the screen someday. Ethan Sachs gets credit for just bringing this character up, giving him humanity even as a cyborg, dealing with all that, and then getting Tonga, this character who's just as important as Beilert Valance. I mean, she's narrating, she's almost the main character of this whole thing. So strong characters, some awesome arcs, and it's all been sequenced in between War of the Bounty Hunters, Crimson Reign, the Hidden Empire, Dark Droids. So the fact that he's able to interweave these stories that still felt impactful the entire way through. Hats off to Ethan Sachs and the team. Absolutely loved it. Great. Brilliant. What did you guys think of Bounty Hunters of High Republic? Let me know in the comment section down below. As I mentioned off the top of the show, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. You can also subscribe to my blog, which is starrapter.substack.com, starrapter.substack.com. Find out my blog, all the cool stuff I'm writing over there. And you can check out me and Matthew on the Tractor Beam over on the Star Wars Underworld YouTube channel every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern for our in-depth analysis and discussion on these very comics. That's going to do it for me, Starrapter. Thank you so much for watching, and may the Force be with you always. Thanks for checking out the video. Please hit that thumbs up symbol. It helps me know that I'm making content that you guys enjoy. And if you enjoyed this video, I also include 2 videos down below you guys should check out. and please consider subscribing to this channel. It helps support me and it notifies you guys of when I get new videos up on the channel. You can also contact me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Starrapter.